As you settle into your bed, let your body grow heavy against the mattress. Let your breathing slow, like the calm tide of the sea. Tonight, you are not bound to Earth. Tonight, we will take a gentle journey through the cosmos, a voyage into the story of our solar system. Imagine yourself standing beneath a night sky. The stars above shimmer like tiny lanterns. The Milky Way stretches in a glowing river of light. You feel the cool air of evening on your skin, the silence broken only by the faintest breeze. Now imagine that you are lighter than air, your feet slowly lifting from the ground. Up you rise past rooftops and trees, past the mountains, past the clouds. The air thins, but you do not struggle. You breathe easily, as though the universe itself cradles you in its arms. Below you, Earth becomes a globe. Blue oceans, swirling white clouds, continents outlined like brushstrokes on a canvas. Every story, every memory, every life you have ever known rests on that tiny marble. But tonight, we drift outward, out into the sun's great family of worlds. Together, we will pass the planets, from the smallest stones near the sun to the icy frontier at the system's edge. And as we go, you will learn their secrets, told not with urgency, but in whispers, like a bedtime tale for grown-ups. At the center of it all is our star, the beginning, the anchor, the reason there is warmth and light. The sun. The sun is not simply a ball of fire. It is a star, a sphere of plasma, burning with energy created deep in its heart. At the core, hydrogen atoms fuse together, becoming helium, releasing light and heat that streams outward. It takes thousands of years for that energy to travel from the core to the surface. And then, in just 8 minutes, it crosses the vast space to Earth. Every sunrise you have ever seen, every shadow ever cast, began in that deep furnace at the sun's core. The sun is immense, over 100 times wider than Earth. You could line up more than 1 million Earths inside it and still have room to spare. Its surface, the photosphere, boils with shifting patterns. Dark sunspots appear, cooler than the rest, yet still hotter than any flame on Earth. Loops of plasma, called prominences, arch high into the corona, the sun's outer atmosphere, shining faintly even when the disk is hidden. And then there is the light. Golden, steady, it streams outward in all directions, a river of photons that illuminates the planets, warms their surfaces, and makes life possible on Earth. Without the sun, there would be no oceans, no air, no heartbeat of life. It is not only the center of the solar system, it is the reason we exist at all. Since the earliest days of humanity, people have looked up at the sun and seen more than light. They have seen a god, a guide, a mystery. The Egyptians called it Ra, the falcon-headed god who sailed across the sky in a golden boat. The Greeks called it Helios, a radiant figure driving a chariot of fire. In Japan, the goddess Amaterasu was said to be born of the sun's light. Every culture honored it because all understood. Without the sun, there is no harvest, no warmth, no dawn. Even now, as we know its true nature, it retains its mystery. We understand its physics, but we still pause at sunrise in awe of its glow. The sun's presence is not limited to light. It holds everything in place, its gravity stretching across billions of kilometers. Each planet, moon, comet, and grain of dust moves in orbit because of the sun's pull. It is the unseen hand guiding the dance of the solar system. The Earth orbits the sun once every year, a steady path that defines our seasons. Mercury, closest to the sun, races around in just 88 days. Neptune, at the edge, takes more than 165 years for a single lap. Each body is bound, each path drawn by gravity, like invisible strings weaving the planets into a cosmic pattern. But the sun gives more than gravity. It sends out the solar wind, a stream of charged particles that sweeps through the solar system like a breeze across an endless sea. On Earth, this wind interacts with our magnetic field, painting the sky with colors, the auroras, green and purple curtains of light dancing in the polar night. On Mars, where the magnetic shield is weak, the solar wind has stripped away much of the atmosphere, leaving behind a dry and frozen land. On Jupiter and Saturn, it stirs great auroras many times larger than Earth itself, brilliant lights unseen except by spacecraft. The sun also shapes time itself. Day and night, measured by the Earth's turning, exist because of its steady shine. The length of a year, the rhythm of planting and harvest is drawn from Earth's orbit around it. Human life, from calendars to festivals, has always followed the sun. Imagine for a moment that we drift closer to the sun itself. We would not feel heat in the way we imagine, for space is empty and cold. But as we approached, the radiation would grow fierce, the light blinding. The corona, its outer atmosphere, would glow in pale silver arcs. And though the sun looks smooth from Earth, up close it seethes with storms. Solar flares erupt, sending energy across space. Sunspots, dark and mysterious, move slowly across its face. The surface ripples with convection, boiling like a living ocean. And yet, in all this violence, there is constancy. The sun has shone for more than 4 billion years. It will shine for billions more. Every breath of wind on Earth, every drop of rain, every sprout of a seed owes its existence to that constancy. The sun is life, but it is also time. It marks the rise and fall of civilizations. It will outlast us, and yet it is also fragile in its own way. One day in a distant future, it will swell into a red giant, engulfing Mercury and Venus, warming Earth beyond what life can endure. And then, it will shrink into a white dwarf, a quiet ember in the cosmic night. But tonight it is still strong, still steady, still the golden heart of our solar system. So as you rest, remember the sun not only as a star, but as a companion. It greets you each morning, watches over your days, and bids you good night each evening. Its light paints the sky with color, its gravity holds the earth in safety, its warmth nurtures every forest, every ocean, every living breath. The sun is not distant, it is within you. The warmth in your chest, the spark in your eyes, the energy that carries you through the day, all are gifts of sunlight, woven into the fabric of your being. Now imagine yourself drifting slowly away again, not into the burning core, but outward into the cool darkness of space. The sun glows behind you, a radiant lantern in the void. Ahead, the planets wait, worlds of stone and gas, dust and ice, each with its own story to tell. Our next stop is Mercury, the smallest planet, a world of extremes circling closest to the sun. But for now, let your mind linger on the star itself. Feel its warmth as a blanket, its light as a gentle glow. You are safe, carried in the embrace of the solar system, drifting slowly, peacefully, into the next chapter of our cosmic journey. From the golden warmth of the sun, we drift outward into the quiet vacuum of space. The first world we encounter is Mercury. Tiny, gray, and unassuming, it circles closest to the sun, so near that its surface is scorched by daylight and frozen in night. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. It is only a little larger than our own moon. If you held Earth and Mercury side by side, Earth would look like a great globe, while Mercury would seem like a pebble. And yet this small world is full of secrets. Its surface tells a story older than mountains, older than oceans, older than almost anything we can see on Earth. The ground is scarred with craters, vast circles punched into the crust by asteroids and comets over billions of years. Some craters are so wide that entire cities could fit inside them. Others are shallow, barely more than dimples on the surface. One of the largest is the Caloris Basin, a scar more than 1,000 kilometers across, formed by a collision so violent that it shook the entire planet. Ridges and cliffs radiate outward from it, as though the ground itself rippled in waves. The rest of Mercury is quiet, a desert of stone and dust. There are no oceans, no forests, no soft breezes, only silence. And yet this silence has its beauty. When the sun rises on Mercury, it rises slowly, casting long shadows across the craters. The sky is black, for there is no thick air to scatter light. The sun glows like a brilliant disk, twice as wide as it appears on Earth. The horizon gleams silver, and the stones glow faintly with reflected heat. Mercury has strange rhythms. Its day, the time it takes to spin once on its axis, is nearly 59 Earth days. Its year, the time it takes to orbit the sun, is only 88 Earth days. This means that a single day on Mercury, from sunrise to sunrise, lasts 176 Earth days, half a year spent in daylight, half a year spent in night. During the long day, the surface grows unbearably hot. Rocks bake under the sun's glare, reaching temperatures hot enough to melt lead. During the long night, with no air to hold the heat, the temperature plunges to hundreds of degrees below freezing. It is a world of extremes, a place where fire and ice exist side by side. And yet, within the shadows of craters at the poles, there is water. Frozen ice, hidden in darkness where sunlight never reaches. Here in the most unlikely of places, something familiar is preserved. A reminder that even the harshest worlds can still carry whispers of life's ingredients. Mercury has been known since ancient times. To the Greeks, it was Hermes, the swift messenger of the gods, darting quickly across the sky. To the Romans, it became Mercury, the god of travelers and commerce. The planet earned this name because of its speed, the fastest of all planets in orbit. When viewed from Earth, Mercury is difficult to see. It never strays far from the sun, always hidden in the glow of dawn or dusk. For this reason, it has always been a fleeting presence, a glimpse caught at the edges of day. In modern times, spacecraft have revealed its true face. Mariner 10 in the 1970s was the first to fly past, sending back images of a cratered world that looked much like the moon. Decades later, the Messenger mission orbited Mercury, mapping its surface in detail, showing us cliffs that stretch for hundreds of kilometers, evidence that the entire planet once shrank as its core cooled. Now the European and Japanese Bepicolombo mission is on its way, continuing the story of exploration. Even the smallest planet invites curiosity. Though Mercury is small, its heart is heavy. Scientists believe that more than half of the planet's volume is taken up by its iron core. Compared to Earth, Mercury's outer crust is thin, like the shell of an egg wrapped around a vast sphere of metal. This is unusual. Why would such a small world carry such a massive core? Some think that long ago Mercury was struck by a giant body, an impact so violent that much of its outer rock was stripped away, leaving behind the dense heart we see today. Others think that the early sun, burning brighter than before, may have blown away the lighter materials, leaving only the heaviest behind. Whatever the truth, Mercury carries its mystery still. Despite its size, it has a magnetic field, something unexpected. Though weaker than Earth's, it suggests that deep inside, the iron core is still partly molten, still moving, still alive with energy. This little world, scorched and frozen, is not lifeless stone. It has a heart that beats slowly, a rhythm measured in metal and heat, and on its surface, cliffs called Lobat scarps cut across craters and plains. These cliffs are signs that the entire planet has shrunk as its core cooled, like a dried fruit wrinkling with time. Mercury is a world still changing, even after billions of years. As we drift above Mercury, we see both beauty and silence. The horizon curves gently, gray and silver under a black sky. The sun looms enormous, its light casting sharp shadows across craters and cliffs. There is no wind, no sound, only stillness. If you stood here, you would feel weight, but no air upon your skin. The ground would crunch softly beneath your feet, but nothing would echo. And yet, in this silence, there is meaning. Mercury reminds us of beginnings. It is ancient, unchanged by oceans or forests. It is the record keeper of the solar system, its craters a book of impacts stretching back to the dawn of time. It is a place of extremes, of fire and ice, of long days and longer nights. It is not hospitable, but it is enduring. And in its endurance, it tells us something profound, that even in the harshest places, beauty remains. As you rest, imagine drifting slowly away, leaving Mercury behind. Its gray surface shrinks into the distance, its craters softening into shadow. The sun grows smaller too, its glow becoming gentle again. Ahead lies another world, bright, clouded, mysterious in its shroud of gold. Venus, the twin of Earth, but a twin of fire. For now, let Mercury's silence settle into your mind. Let its stillness wrap around you, a reminder that even the smallest of worlds has a story worth telling. Leaving Mercury behind, we drift outward through the dark of space. Ahead, a golden glow begins to rise, soft at first, then brighter, until it shines almost like a small sun. This is Venus. From Earth, it is the most brilliant of planets, the morning star that greets us at dawn, the evening star that lingers at twilight. It has been a companion to humanity since the beginning of time, a steady beacon at the edge of day and night. Ancient cultures gave Venus many names. The Sumerians called it Inanna, goddess of love and war. The Greeks saw it as Aphrodite, the radiant goddess of beauty. To the Maya, it was a celestial warrior, its rising and setting guiding the timing of battles. It is no wonder that Venus was linked with love and mystery. Its steady light seemed gentle, a jewel hung low in the sky, watching over the world as people slept. But the truth of Venus is far different from the softness of its glow. Beneath the beauty, there lies a world of fire. As we drift closer, we find Venus hidden beneath thick clouds. They swirl in yellow and gold, an endless cover that hides the surface from view. For centuries, humans wondered what lay below. Some imagined jungles, lush forests hidden under a veil of mist. Others dreamed of oceans, teeming with life, a twin to Earth waiting to be discovered. But when spacecraft finally peered through the haze, the truth was revealed. The clouds are not gentle. They are heavy with carbon dioxide, with droplets of sulfuric acid drifting in the air. The atmosphere is thick, so thick that the pressure on the ground is more than 90 times what you feel on Earth. To stand there would be like standing beneath an ocean. The heat is unimaginable. The sun's energy passes through the clouds, but the carbon dioxide traps it, holding the warmth in place. This is the greenhouse effect, and on Venus it is absolute. The surface temperature is hotter than an oven, hot enough to melt lead. No rivers flow here, no seas shimmer in the light. Instead, the ground is cracked and dry, a desert of stone and volcanoes. Mountains rise through the haze, volcanic plains stretch wide, and the air shimmers with heat. It is a world of extremes, a twin of Earth in size, but a twin of fire in nature. Venus is restless. Its surface is dotted with volcanoes, more than any other planet in the solar system. Some are vast shields, stretching for hundreds of kilometers. Others are smaller, but together they shape a world that seems always on the edge of eruption. Scientists believe that much of the surface is young, reshaped by lava within the last billion years. In some places, lava plains stretch farther than the eye could see. In others, towering mountains rise, such as Maxwell Montes, taller even than Everest. Above, the winds howl. Though the surface air is dense and slow, the clouds above race at incredible speeds, circling the planet in just a few days. They swirl and twist, forming great patterns seen from space, like brushstrokes painted across a canvas of gold. If you stood on the ground, you would see nothing of this. The sky would be thick, glowing faintly yellow, the sun only a dim blur. Day and night would mean little here, for the clouds hide the stars and the heat never fades. Venus is not only mysterious in its atmosphere, but also in its rhythm. Where Earth spins once every 24 hours, Venus turns incredibly slowly. One rotation takes 243 Earth days. Its day is longer than its year, for Venus orbits the Sun in just 225 days. But there is something stranger still. Venus spins backwards. On Earth, the Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. On Venus, the Sun would rise in the west and set in the east. If you could stand on its surface, you would wait months for sunrise and months more for sunset, each hidden behind the veil of clouds. This strange rotation puzzles scientists. Perhaps long ago, Venus was struck by a massive asteroid, tipping it into a slow backward spin. Or perhaps the thick atmosphere, moving with such force, has slowly dragged the planet's rotation into this unusual state. Whatever the cause, Venus does not follow the rules we know. It has chosen its own rhythm, a slow and inverted dance that sets it apart from all the other planets. And in that strangeness, there is poetry, a reminder that not all worlds are like Earth. Each has its own story, its own rhythm, its own beauty. As we drift above Venus, we see a world both beautiful and forbidding. The golden clouds swirl endlessly, hiding the fiery ground below. It is a place of contradictions, a star in our sky, yet a furnace in truth, a twin of Earth in size, yet a stranger in every other way. From above, the light of the sun turns the clouds into soft gold. Lightning flickers deep inside the haze, a silent storm hidden from human eyes. The wind sweeps ceaselessly, as if trying to tear away the veil. Yet the veil endures. Venus teaches us about extremes. It shows us the power of atmosphere, the danger of heat trapped without release. It reminds us of balance and how delicate the conditions of Earth truly are. And yet, it is not only a warning, it is also a wonder. A world that shines brighter than any other, a star that has guided sailors, inspired myths, and lit the skies of every civilization. As we leave Venus behind, we carry both awe and humility. For even in its harshness, it holds beauty. Even in its fire, it gives us light. Now we drift outward once more, past the golden shroud into the cool night of space. Ahead lies our own world, Earth, blue and alive, with its companion, the moon. But before we go, let Venus remain in your mind as both a jewel and a mystery, a reminder that beauty can be found in even the harshest of places, and that every world, no matter how distant or difficult, has a story worth listening to. We drift outward from Venus, leaving behind its golden clouds and its fiery hidden surface. Ahead, a blue glow begins to emerge, soft and familiar. It is Earth, our home, our oasis in the cosmic desert. From space, Earth looks fragile, a shimmering marble of blue and white, swirling with clouds, crowned by the soft glow of atmosphere. It is small compared to Jupiter, tiny compared to the sun, and yet it carries something rare, life in abundance. Oceans stretch across most of the surface, vast plains of water reflecting sunlight like glass. Continents rise in shapes carved by mountains, rivers, and winds. Forests breathe across the land, deserts shimmer in silence, and ice gleams at the poles. From orbit, no borders can be seen, no boundaries of nations, only patterns of nature, the curve of coastlines, the ridges of mountains, the green spread of valleys. It is here, and only here that we know of, that life flourishes. Billions of species, from the smallest microbe to the tallest tree, from the tiniest insect to humankind itself, all sharing one world, bound together by the sun's warmth and the earth's steady rhythms. What makes Earth unique is not only its oceans, but its air. A thin shell of gases, the atmosphere embraces our planet. It is delicate, just a veil compared to Earth's size, and yet it holds everything we need. Oxygen to breathe, nitrogen to balance, carbon dioxide to feed plants. It keeps warmth close at night, protects us from radiation by day, and scatters sunlight to paint the sky blue. High above, layers of atmosphere interact with the solar wind. In the polar regions, the sky glows with auroras, green and violet curtains of light dancing in silence. Beneath this protective veil, oceans stir with tides pulled by the moon. Winds sweep across plains, and rain falls to nourish rivers and soil. The cycle of water, evaporation, clouds, rainfall is endless, a heartbeat as old as the Earth itself. Without the atmosphere, Earth would be barren, a desert like Mars or scorched like Mercury. With it, Earth is alive, ever-changing, ever-renewing. Earth's rhythms shape all life. The turning of the planet brings day and night. The orbit around the sun creates the seasons. The tilt of the axis ensures balance. A variety of climates from equator to poles. In spring, flowers bloom and seeds awaken. In summer, the sun lingers long in the sky, warming the fields. In autumn, leaves fall and harvests are gathered. In winter, snow quiets the land, and the earth rests. Every culture has lived by these rhythms. Festivals, stories, songs, and traditions are woven around the rise of the sun, the phases of the moon, the cycle of the year. Earth is not just a place. It is time itself. It is memory and future. It is the only home where human history unfolds. As Earth spins and orbits, it is never truly alone. For circling with it, always close in the night sky, is its companion, the moon. The moon is Earth's only natural satellite, a gray and silent world that has inspired humanity for millennia. From the beginning, people have looked upward to see its phases wax and wane, its light glowing softly in darkness. The moon is about 1/4 the size of Earth. Its gravity tugs gently at our oceans, pulling the waters into tides. Each day the seas rise and fall, a rhythm written by the moon's pull. This dance of water has guided sailors, shaped coastlines, and nourished life along the shores. Its surface is scarred, like Mercury's, with craters from ancient impacts. Great plains of dark basalt, called Maria, stretch across its face, the remains of volcanic floods that filled low basins long ago. The moon has no thick air, no wind, no rain. Its silence is complete, and yet that silence holds beauty. From Earth, the moon shines in silver light, bright enough to cast shadows, gentle enough to comfort. In myth and story, the moon has always been a guide. The Greeks linked it to Artemis, the huntress. In Rome, it was Luna, riding her chariot across the sky. In countless cultures, it was seen as a symbol of love, a keeper of dreams, a light for travelers. And in our own time, humans have walked upon it. In 1969, the Apollo missions carried astronauts to its surface. They left footprints in the dust, planted flags that still stand and look back at Earth. A glowing sphere rising above the horizon, a sight so beautiful that it changed forever how we see our world. The moon is not just a satellite, it is part of Earth's story, shaping its tides, stabilizing its tilt, guiding its rhythms. Without it, life might have evolved differently. With it, Earth has balance. As we drift farther out, Earth begins to shrink below us. Its blues and greens fade into soft colors. The white of clouds swirls like brushstrokes. Beside it, the moon glows softly, a quiet guardian circling in silence. Together they are a pair, planet and satellite, mother and child, partners in the endless dance around the sun. Earth reminds us of fragility. From space it looks small, suspended in blackness, a world of life adrift in the dark. Its oceans, forests, and skies exist within a thin shell, a balance delicate and rare. The moon reminds us of companionship. It teaches us that even in silence, there can be meaning. Its glow comforts, its pull guides the tides, its presence steadies the earth. As you rest tonight, imagine floating above this pair. Below, Earth turns slowly, its lights glowing in the night. Beside it, the moon drifts, its craters catching faint sunlight. The two together move along their orbit, safe in the embrace of the sun's gravity. This is our home, unique among the planets, alive with oceans and forests, balanced by the gentle pull of the moon. Now let your eyes close and let this image remain. A blue marble and a silver companion turning together in the quiet of space. Our next stop is farther still, a red world, dry and cold, yet filled with dreams. Mars awaits us. Leaving behind the Earth and its silver moon, we drift farther outward, past the warmth of our home, toward a world long admired, long imagined, long dreamed of. Ahead, a red glow begins to appear, at first faint, then brighter, until it becomes a sphere, rust-colored, dusty, shimmering against the darkness of space. This is Mars, the red planet, the warrior in the sky. From Earth, it has always drawn attention. Its color sets it apart from the stars, a steady glow with a fiery tint. The Romans named it Mars after their god of war. The Greeks called it Ares, the fierce one. Other cultures saw it as an omen, a sign of battle, a signal of fate. Yet in truth, Mars is quiet, a desert world colder than Earth, more silent than the moon. And yet within its sands and canyons, it holds stories older than memory and dreams of futures yet to come. Mars is smaller than Earth, about half its size. Its surface is dry, a land of deserts, valleys, and towering volcanoes. One of the most remarkable features is Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. It rises nearly 22 kilometers high, 3 times taller than Everest. Its base is so wide that it could cover the entire state of Arizona, a mountain so vast that its slopes are gentle enough to walk up without ever realizing you were climbing. Nearby lies Valles Marineris, a canyon system unlike any on Earth. It stretches more than 4,000 kilometers, as long as the distance from New York to Los Angeles. At points, it is 7 kilometers deep, a wound in the planet's crust, carved not by rivers, but by the planet's own shifting surface. Elsewhere, dust plains stretch endlessly, their red color coming from iron oxide, the rust that coats the soil. Dust storms can rise here, storms so large that they cover the entire planet, blurring the surface in a haze of red. And yet there is beauty. At sunrise, the sky glows not blue, but pink and orange, fading into butterscotch. At sunset, the opposite occurs. The sky turns blue, a strange reversal of Earth's rhythm. To stand on Mars would be to see a world both alien and familiar, a horizon of mountains and plains, a thin sky glowing faintly, a sun half the size it appears on Earth. Mars today is dry, its rivers long gone, its seas vanished. But long ago, things were different. Evidence carved into the surface shows channels where rivers once flowed, valleys shaped by water, and minerals formed in the presence of moisture. Lakes may once have filled craters, seas may once have shimmered under a warmer sky. Even now, ice lies hidden at the poles, locked in white caps that wax and wane with the seasons. Beneath the ground, ice may linger still, frozen reservoirs waiting in the dark. Where there is water, there may be life. Not great forests or animals, but perhaps microbes, simple forms clinging to warmth and moisture. Scientists search for signs, sending rovers across the plains, drilling into the soil, listening for whispers of ancient biology. So far, no life has been found, but the search continues, for Mars is a world of promise, a place that may yet reveal that we are not alone. Mars is not entirely alone. Two small companions circle it, tiny moons named Phobos and Deimos. Unlike our great round moon, these are irregular and rough, more like captured asteroids than true satellites. Phobos, the larger, orbits so close to Mars that it appears to race across the sky, rising and setting twice in a single day. Its surface is scarred by craters, the largest of which, Stickney, covers much of one side. Phobos is slowly falling inward, its orbit decaying. In millions of years, it will either crash into Mars or break apart into a ring of debris. Deimos, the smaller moon, orbits farther out. It is smoother, gentler in appearance, a tiny pebble drifting quietly in the dark. Together, the two are symbols of Mars itself. Phobos, fear; Deimos, dread. Names chosen by the Greeks for the horses that pulled the chariot of Ares, the god of war. Yet for all the myth of war, Mars inspires dreams of peace. For centuries, humans have looked to it as a frontier. Writers have imagined cities beneath glass domes, fields of greenhouses, children playing under a pink sky. Scientists dream of sending settlers there, building habitats, warming the planet, perhaps even restoring water. Already rovers roam its surface. Spirit and Opportunity once explored its plains. Curiosity continues its climb across craters. Perseverance now seeks signs of ancient life, collecting samples that may one day return to Earth. Even helicopters, tiny machines like Ingenuity, have flown in its thin air, the first steps of flight beyond Earth. Mars is not only a planet, it is a vision of humanity's future, a dream that one day we may stand on its surface, look up at the sky, and see Earth as a blue star shining above. As we drift above Mars, its red plains spread out below, its canyons carved deep, its volcanoes towering like mountains of another world. The silence is immense. No birds call, no rivers flow, no leaves rustle in the wind. And yet, the silence is not empty. It is full of possibility. Mars reminds us of change. It was once warmer, once wetter, perhaps once alive. Now it is colder, drier, a memory of what was, and still, it waits for what may yet come. It is a mirror of ourselves. It shows us the fragility of planets, the way atmospheres can vanish, the way climates can shift. It warns us to care for Earth, our oasis of blue. But it also inspires. It offers a challenge, a horizon, a place where human footsteps may one day fall. As you rest tonight, imagine floating high above its surface. See Olympus Mons glowing in sunset light, its slopes vanishing into the distance. See Valles Marineris stretching across the horizon, its depths fading into shadow. See the polar caps, white against red, shining softly. Then drift away, leaving Mars behind, its red glow fading into the black. Ahead lies a giant, a world of storms, a king among planets. Jupiter awaits. For now, let Mars remain in your thoughts, a planet of deserts and dreams, a place of memory and promise, a reminder that even in silence, hope can endure. Leaving Mars behind, with its quiet deserts and fading red glow, we drift farther outward, into colder, darker reaches of the solar system. Ahead, a vast world begins to appear. At first, just a glimmer. Then, as we come closer, it swells until it fills our vision. Striped with colors of cream, ochre, and rust, this is Jupiter, the king of planets, the giant among giants. Jupiter is immense, so vast that more than 1,300 Earths could fit inside its bulk. So massive that it contains more than twice the material of all the other planets combined. It is not a solid world. It is a sphere of gas and cloud, hydrogen and helium, its surface forever shifting. If you could descend into its depths, there would be no ground to stand upon. Only thicker and hotter layers until eventually pressures so great turn gas into liquid metallic hydrogen, conducting electricity, generating a magnetic field far stronger than Earth's. But from space, it is the clouds we see. They swirl in bands of white and brown, storms rolling endlessly, a painting alive with motion. Among Jupiter's storms is one that has lasted longer than human history. It is called the Great Red Spot, a colossal hurricane 3 times wider than Earth. Its winds howl at hundreds of kilometers per hour, yet from above it looks graceful, an oval of deep red spinning within the paler bands. First observed over 350 years ago, it has endured ever since. A storm so vast that entire civilizations have risen and fallen while it has continued to turn. All across Jupiter, storms boil. Clouds of ammonia and water form towering structures, rising and sinking in endless cycles. Lightning flashes within them, brighter and more powerful than any storm on Earth. The colors shift: white, beige, orange, red, their patterns changing with time, but always beautiful. Jupiter is alive not with life, but with motion, its atmosphere a restless canvas painted anew each day. And above it all, auroras blaze at the poles. Caused by the planet's immense magnetic field, they glow in ultraviolet light, invisible to the eye, but dazzling to instruments. If you could see them, they would shine many times brighter than Earth's northern lights, a cosmic crown upon the giant. Jupiter is not alone. It carries a family with it, more than 90 moons discovered so far. Each one unique, each one with a story. The largest are the Galilean moons, first seen by Galileo in 1610 through a small telescope. They are worlds in their own right, planets in miniature, orbiting their giant parent. Io is the closest, a fiery world, its surface alive with volcanoes. Lava fountains shoot into the sky. Sulfur paints the ground yellow and orange. It is the most volcanically active body we know, its heat driven by Jupiter's immense gravity, stretching and squeezing it with every orbit. Europa is different, a smooth, icy sphere. Its surface is cracked with lines, as though it were glass fractured by pressure. Beneath the ice, scientists believe there lies an ocean, salt water, global, perhaps twice as large as all Earth's oceans combined. In that dark ocean, heated by the planet's tides, life may exist. Not life like ours, but simple forms, swimming in eternal night. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, even bigger than Mercury. It has its own magnetic field, the only moon to do so, and its surface is a mix of craters and ice. It is a world that feels like a planet in itself, a reminder that Jupiter is not just one world, but many. Callisto lies farther out, its surface ancient, scarred with craters untouched for billions of years. It is like a record book of the solar system, a frozen archive of impacts, a history written in stone and ice. Together, these 4 moons are a solar system within a solar system. They orbit Jupiter like planets orbit the sun, each different, each wondrous. And beyond them, dozens more moons drift, small, irregular, captured asteroids, each adding to Jupiter's vast retinue. Jupiter is not only a planet, it is a guardian. Its immense gravity shapes the solar system, pulling at asteroids, deflecting comets, and in many cases, shielding Earth from destruction. Astronomers believe that without Jupiter, life on Earth might never have flourished. Too many impacts from comets and asteroids might have swept the oceans away, shattering the fragile balance of life. But Jupiter, with its vast gravitational pull, captures many of these wanderers, drawing them into itself or sending them safely away. Yet sometimes its power is dramatic. In 1994, astronomers watched as comet Shoemaker Levy 9 was torn apart by Jupiter's gravity. Its fragments plunged into the planet, explosions so vast that Earth-sized plumes rose into the atmosphere. The scars of those impacts remain visible for months, a reminder of Jupiter's might. In this way, Jupiter is both protector and destroyer, a giant whose presence shapes the destiny of smaller worlds. Its magnetic field is the largest structure in the solar system. It stretches millions of kilometers into space, far beyond the planet itself, capturing charged particles and creating radiation belts far more intense than anything near Earth. If you could orbit close to Jupiter, these belts would glow unseen, a silent storm of energy, a reminder of its hidden power. Jupiter's influence is everywhere. It keeps the asteroid belt from forming into another planet, its gravity pulling and stirring the rocks so that they remain broken and scattered. It shepherds comets, it tugs at Saturn, it sets the rhythm of the outer solar system. It is not just a world, it is an architect, a force that has shaped the solar system for billions of years. As we drift above Jupiter, its beauty fills our vision. The clouds swirl in endless bands, storms rise and fall, lightning flashes in the depths. The great red spot turns slowly, ancient and enduring. Around it, the moons sparkle. Tiny jewels in orbit, each a world of its own. Io glows with fire, Europa hides its ocean, Ganymede looms immense, Callisto remembers the past. Together they circle their giant parent, a family bound by gravity, a miniature solar system dancing within the greater one. To gaze upon Jupiter is to feel both wonder and humility. It is vast beyond measure, powerful beyond comprehension, yet it is also beautiful, a work of art in gas and light. For Earth, it has been a protector, a silent guardian, diverting dangers. For humanity, it has been a mystery, a world glimpsed through telescopes, revealing more with every mission. The Voyager probes, the Galileo spacecraft, and the Juno mission today have all brought us closer, yet still we know only fragments. Jupiter reminds us that the universe is immense, that there are powers beyond us, and yet that we are connected, for without it, our world might not exist as it does. As you rest tonight, imagine floating slowly away from the giant. Its stripes fade, its moons shrink to points of light. The great red spot becomes a tiny oval, still turning, still alive. Ahead lies another giant, different in beauty, different in nature. A world adorned with rings, delicate and shining, a jewel in the darkness. Saturn awaits us, but for now let Jupiter's image linger. A guardian, a painter of storms, a king among planets. Let its vastness cradle you, let its colors soothe you, and let its steady presence guide you into calm dreams. From Jupiter's vast storms and swirling moons, we drift farther outward into the night of space. The darkness grows colder, the sun shrinks behind us, but ahead a pale golden light begins to shine. Slowly, a world comes into view. At first it seems like another giant, a sphere of gas and cloud. But then the light catches and something remarkable appears. Delicate rings encircling the planet, vast and shimmering, a crown of ice and dust. This is Saturn, the jewel of the solar system. Of all the planets, Saturn is the most breathtaking through a telescope. Even with a small lens, its rings can be seen, circling the planet like a halo. For centuries, it has inspired awe and wonder. The planet itself is immense, second only to Jupiter. It is a world of hydrogen and helium, its surface a blur of yellow and gold, bands of clouds stretching across its face. But it is the rings that make Saturn unforgettable. They extend tens of thousands of kilometers, yet are only meters thick. They are made of ice and rock, countless fragments, each circling Saturn in a graceful dance. From far away, they look solid, like a smooth disk. But up close, they are countless particles, each reflecting sunlight, each following its own orbit. Saturn is a world of beauty, a planet that reminds us that the universe is capable of elegance, of subtlety, of wonder. The rings are divided into sections, named with simple letters: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The brightest are A and B, separated by a dark gap known as the Cassini division. This gap is not empty, but it appears darker, a shadow carved by the pull of Saturn's moons. The rings are ancient, but their age is debated. Some scientists believe they formed billions of years ago, when Saturn itself was young. Others suggest they may be far more recent, only 100 million years old, born from a shattered moon or a comet torn apart by gravity. Whatever their origin, their beauty is timeless. They are not permanent. Slowly, tiny particles drift into Saturn, drawn by gravity. One day, perhaps millions of years from now, the rings may fade. But for now they shimmer, a cosmic masterpiece, a reminder of impermanence, of beauty that exists only for a time. Imagine standing on one of Saturn's moons, looking up at the planet. The rings would stretch across the sky, vast arcs of light, glowing softly, casting shadows on the clouds below. It would be a view unlike anything Earth can offer, a horizon painted with starlight and ice. Saturn itself is a giant of gas. It is the least dense of all planets. So light, in fact, that if you could place it in water, it would float. Its atmosphere is layered with clouds, shades of yellow, cream, and pale gold. Storms swirl here too, though gentler than Jupiter's. Yet sometimes Saturn surprises. Every few decades, a great storm erupts, wrapping around the planet, a white band so vast it can be seen from Earth. Like Jupiter, Saturn has a strong magnetic field. At its poles, auroras shimmer, curtains of light created as solar wind collides with its atmosphere. They glow in hues our eyes cannot see, but to instruments they shine like crowns of silver and blue. Deep inside Saturn, there may be a core of rock and metal, surrounded by liquid hydrogen and layers of metallic hydrogen, a sea of exotic matter where gas behaves like liquid. No probe has ever reached it. The pressures are too great, the depths too vast. It remains hidden, a mystery within the golden giant. Saturn does not travel alone. It is surrounded by a vast family of moons. More than 80 confirmed, each one unique, each adding to the mystery of this planet. The most famous is Titan. Larger than our own moon, even larger than Mercury, Titan is a world with a thick orange atmosphere. Its air is dense, rich with nitrogen and methane, so heavy that a person with wings could glide upon it. On Titan's surface, rivers flow, but they are not rivers of water. They are rivers of liquid methane and ethane, hydrocarbons chilled by the cold. Seas stretch across its poles, their surfaces rippling in the wind. Rain falls from the clouds, dripping not water, but liquid gas. It is Earth in reverse, a world where chemistry plays the role that water plays for us. Beneath Titan's icy crust, scientists believe there may be an ocean of water, a hidden sea warmed by the planet's tides. If true, Titan is not only fascinating, but a candidate for life. Life that would be strange, different from ours, yet still alive. Another moon is Enceladus, small and brilliant white. Its surface is covered in ice, smooth and reflective. And from cracks near its south pole, geysers erupt, plumes of water vapor and ice shooting hundreds of kilometers into space. These plumes suggest an ocean beneath the surface, salt water mixed with organic compounds. Enceladus is tiny, yet it may be one of the most promising places to search for life beyond Earth. Its hidden ocean, its warmth, its chemistry, all combine into a possibility that stirs the imagination. Other moons are strange and varied. Iapetus has one side dark as coal, the other bright as snow. Mimas looks like a giant eye, scarred by a crater so large that it resembles the Death Star of fiction. Rhea, Dione, Tethys, Each carries its own scars, its own story. Together, Saturn's moons form a system of worlds, a collection of wonders orbiting a jewel. Each is a chapter in Saturn's story, each a reminder that beauty is never singular, but spreads outward like ripples in a pond. As we drift above Saturn, its rings stretch wide beneath us, glittering arcs of ice and light. The planet itself glows softly, a golden lantern against the black of space. Its moons circle silently, each following its own path, each adding to the music of the system. Titan cloaked in haze, Enceladus shining with its plumes, others like jewels, tiny sparks of light in orbit. To gaze upon Saturn is to feel wonder. It is not violent like Jupiter, not harsh like Venus, not barren like Mercury. It is something else, a vision of grace, of elegance, a reminder that the cosmos is not only vast, but also beautiful. The rings shimmer, but they are not eternal. They are fragile, fleeting, slowly falling inward. One day they will vanish, and Saturn will remain as just another giant. But for now, we live in an age of splendor, an age when Saturn wears its crown. As you rest tonight, imagine standing upon Titan, looking up at the sky. Above Saturn looms, its rings stretching across the heavens, so vast they fill the horizon. It would be a sight of peace, of majesty, of awe. Now, as we leave Saturn behind, its glow fading into the distance, we turn to the next horizon. Farther out still, where the sun is but a bright star, two more giants wait. One rolls on its side, tilted and strange. The other is a deep blue, windswept and cold. But for now, let Saturn remain in your thoughts. A planet of golden clouds, a world of delicate rings, a system of moons that whisper with possibility. Let its elegance lull you into rest. Let its rings cradle your dreams. And let its beauty remind you that even in the vastness of space, there is art, there is wonder, there is peace. From Saturn's golden clouds and glittering rings, we drift farther outward into the quiet. The sun grows smaller, a bright star rather than a blazing disk. The space between worlds stretches wide, but still a faint blue glow waits ahead. As we approach, the glow becomes a sphere, pale, serene, a planet unlike any we have yet seen. This is Uranus, the first of the ice giants. At first glance, it may seem simple. Its face is smooth, a soft blue-green orb without the stripes and storms of Jupiter, without the golden rings of Saturn. But simplicity hides mystery. Uranus is one of the strangest worlds in the solar system. Unlike any other planet, Uranus lies on its side. Its axis of rotation is tilted more than 97 degrees. Where Earth leans gently, Uranus is toppled. It spins like a rolling ball, its poles where its equator should be. This tilt gives Uranus the most unusual seasons of all. For decades, one pole faces the sun, bathed in light, while the other lies in darkness. Then slowly, the situation reverses. A year on Uranus is 84 Earth years. To live there would be to experience daylight and night lasting not hours, but decades. From afar, Uranus looks calm, its blue color the result of methane gas absorbing red light and reflecting blue. But behind that calmness, it holds secrets still unknown. The atmosphere of Uranus is made mostly of hydrogen and helium, like Jupiter and Saturn. But it also carries more ices, water, ammonia, methane, frozen in its depths, giving the planet its soft hue. Clouds drift here, though faint and difficult to see. In recent decades, telescopes have revealed storms, dark spots forming and fading, winds sweeping faster than hurricanes on Earth. Though Uranus seems quiet, it is alive with hidden motion. Deep inside, the planet's structure is strange. Unlike Jupiter and Saturn, whose metallic hydrogen cores create strong magnetic fields, Uranus's field is tilted, off-center, crooked. It does not align with its rotation. It lurches in odd directions, a reminder that Uranus plays by its own rules. Scientists believe that its interior is made of icy materials, a mix of water, ammonia, and methane, compressed into exotic states. Some call Uranus and Neptune ice giants, not because they are frozen, but because their composition is different from the gas giants before them. If you could descend into Uranus, you would find no surface. The clouds would grow thicker, the pressure greater, the temperature rising, until ice becomes fluid, and atoms themselves behave in new ways. It is a world hidden from view, a mystery yet unsolved. Though less famous than Saturn's, Uranus too has rings. They are faint and narrow, dark bands of dust and ice circling the tilted planet. They are not bright jewels but delicate threads, visible only through powerful instruments. Still, they add elegance, a reminder that even the quietest planets carry adornments of beauty. And Uranus has moons. 27 discovered so far, each named not from myth, but from the works of Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. They are Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, Oberon, and many more. Miranda is the most unusual. Its surface looks shattered, patched together with cliffs and valleys. Some of its scarps rise higher than Mount Everest, walls of ice stretching into the sky. It seems as though Miranda was broken apart and reassembled, a world stitched together from fragments of itself. Titania and Oberon are larger, icy bodies scarred by craters and ridges. Ariel and Umbriel are smaller, each with their own stories. Together, these moons form a family of icy companions, circling a tilted giant, moving through a system that defies expectations. Because Uranus lies on its side, its seasons are like nowhere else. On Earth, the tilt of our axis creates gentle cycles. Spring, summer, autumn, winter, each lasting only a few months. But on Uranus, the tilt is extreme. For nearly 20 years at a time, one pole faces the sun directly. That pole experiences unending daylight, while the other lies in shadow, plunged into a darkness that lasts for decades. When the planet moves further in its orbit, the situation slowly reverses. Imagine standing on Uranus, if such a thing were possible. The sun would rise and then never set again for a generation. The sky would glow faintly as clouds shifted and storms gathered. Then, after decades, the sun would sink and not return for another lifetime. This strange rhythm makes Uranus one of the most mysterious worlds. Scientists still do not fully understand its weather, its winds, or why its magnetic field is so tilted and twisted. Perhaps its unusual angle was caused by a colossal collision long ago, an impact that knocked the planet onto its side, changing it forever. The truth remains hidden. Only one spacecraft, Voyager 2, has ever visited Uranus. It flew past in 1986, capturing images, measuring fields, and then moving onward into the dark. Since then, Uranus has waited in silence, studied only from afar. Future missions may one day return to orbit it, to send probes into its clouds, to reveal the secrets hidden beneath its calm face. Until then, Uranus remains a mystery, a quiet giant, beautiful and strange, rolling slowly through the dark. As we drift above Uranus, we see its pale blue sphere, serene and still, a world that seems almost shy. It does not boast great storms like Jupiter, nor rings of brilliance like Saturn. Its beauty is subtle, delicate, a whisper of color in the night. Its rings encircle it faintly, thin lines against the darkness. Its moons circle quietly, small, icy bodies that keep it company in its lonely orbit. To gaze upon Uranus is to be reminded of difference. Not every world is dramatic. Some hold their wonder in quiet ways, in tilts and angles, in mysteries yet unsolved. As we leave Uranus behind, we look back one last time. Its pale glow fades, its tilted spin continues, its moons twirl around it like dancers moving in silence. Ahead, the dark grows deeper still, and there, far away, a sapphire glimmers, a world of fierce winds and deep storms, the last of the great planets. Neptune awaits us. But for now, let Uranus remain in your mind. A tilted giant, a planet of soft blue and quiet mystery, a reminder that even in the vastness of space, there are worlds that choose to dance to their own rhythm. Beyond Uranus, in the cold and distant reaches of the solar system, a faint blue light glimmers. It is subtle yet steady, a jewel set against the blackness of space. As we drift closer, the glow swells into a sphere, a world of deep sapphire hues, brighter and darker than Uranus, its colors rich and striking. This is Neptune, the farthest planet from the sun, the final giant in our family of worlds. Neptune orbits at a distance so vast that the sun appears like a bright star in its sky. A year here lasts 165 Earth years. Since its discovery in 1846, it has completed less than one orbit around the sun. It is a world few have seen. Only one spacecraft, Voyager 2, has ever flown past, capturing fleeting images before moving onward into the dark. Yet even from that brief visit, we learn that Neptune, though far and cold, is alive with motion. Neptune is an ice giant, like Uranus. Its composition a mix of hydrogen, helium, and icy materials, water, ammonia, methane, compressed into exotic states. Its atmosphere is filled with methane gas, which absorbs red light and reflects blue, giving the planet its brilliant color. But Neptune is not calm. It is a world of storms, the most violent in the solar system. Winds here blow faster than anywhere else, reaching speeds of more than 2,000 kilometers per hour. These supersonic gales circle the planet endlessly, driving clouds into great arcs and spirals. Voyager 2 revealed the Great Dark Spot, a storm as large as Earth, spinning in Neptune's atmosphere. Like Jupiter's red spot, it was a hurricane of unimaginable size. By the time telescopes looked again years later, it had vanished, replaced by other dark storms in other regions. Neptune's weather is ever-changing, its storms forming and dissolving, a restless dance in the cold. High, thin clouds streak its atmosphere, made of methane ice crystals. They drift like cirrus clouds on Earth, white against the deep blue, adding contrast to its surface. Despite being far from the sun, Neptune radiates more heat than it receives. Its interior still burns faintly, driving its winds, fueling its storms, making it a dynamic world despite the cold of its orbit. Like Uranus, Neptune too has rings. They are faint and dark, thin arcs of dust and ice circling the planet. At first they were a mystery, seen only as arcs, not full circles. Later, Voyager 2 revealed that they do form complete rings, but with clumps and gaps, shaped by the pull of Neptune's moons. Neptune's moons are many, but one is most famous: Triton. Triton is unlike any other large moon. It orbits Neptune backward, a retrograde path, suggesting that it did not form here, but was captured long ago. Perhaps it was once a dwarf planet in the Kuiper Belt, drawn in by Neptune's gravity. Triton is a world of ice, but not still. Voyager 2 revealed geysers erupting from its surface, plumes of nitrogen spraying kilometers into space. It is geologically active, its surface young and smooth, reshaped by forces hidden below. Beneath Triton's crust, there may be an ocean of water, kept warm by tidal forces. If so, Triton, like Europa and Enceladus, may be a place where life could hide. The other moons of Neptune are smaller, irregular, many likely captured objects. They orbit quietly, shaped by Triton's gravity, keeping Neptune company in its lonely realm. Neptune is more than a planet. It is a boundary, the last of the giants, the edge of the family we call the planets. Beyond it lies the Kuiper Belt, a realm of icy bodies and dwarf planets, but Neptune is the final great world to circle the sun. Its gravity shapes the outer solar system. It shepherds comets and asteroids, its pull creating gaps and resonances that sculpt the Kuiper Belt itself. Some objects are locked in step with Neptune, trapped in orbits that echo its rhythm. Pluto is one such world, a dwarf planet in resonance, forever dancing in time with Neptune's path. Neptune's discovery is itself a story of the invisible made real. It was not found by chance, but predicted. Astronomers studying Uranus noticed that its orbit did not follow expectations. Something was tugging at it, pulling gently, a hidden mass beyond. With mathematics alone, they calculated where the unseen planet must be. And when telescopes turned to that spot, there it was. Neptune, a world discovered by reason, by the quiet power of thought. This makes Neptune a symbol of the mind's reach. It shows us that even from our small world, we can sense the presence of giants millions of kilometers away. It reminds us that the universe is knowable, that with patience and curiosity, we can find even what cannot be seen. As we drift above Neptune, we see its deep blue clouds swirling, storms forming and fading, winds racing faster than sound. It is a restless world, and yet from afar it appears calm, a sapphire gem glowing softly in the dark. Its rings circle faintly, its moons keep company, and Triton, the captured wanderer, moves backward against the others, a reminder of the strange paths the cosmos can take. Neptune is distant, cold, mysterious, and yet it belongs. It is part of the family, part of the solar system's dance. Though the sun's warmth barely touches it, though centuries pass in its long years, it turns faithfully, it orbits steadily, it endures. As you rest tonight, imagine looking upon Neptune from afar. See its blue glow against the black canvas of space. See its storms churning silently, its clouds drifting endlessly. Feel the cold distance, but also the calm beauty. Ahead lies the final horizon, the edge of the solar system, the Kuiper Belt, the dwarf planets, the comets that wander in the dark, and beyond them, the Oort Cloud, a sphere of ice and memory stretching into the infinite. But for now, let Neptune remain in your thoughts. A distant guardian, a symbol of discovery, a jewel at the edge of our solar system. Close your eyes and let its deep blue light guide you into dreams. From Neptune's sapphire storms, we drift outward once more. Behind us, the last great planet glows faintly, a jewel in the darkness. Ahead lies the frontier, the borderlands of the solar system, where sunlight grows weaker, and the space between worlds stretches into silence. Here, beyond Neptune's path, begins the Kuiper Belt. It is a vast ring of icy bodies, a region filled with comets, asteroids, and dwarf planets. It is the solar system's attic, a place where remnants from creation still linger, untouched for billions of years. The Kuiper Belt is not empty. It is scattered with countless small worlds, some only a few kilometers wide, others large enough to be planets in miniature. They are icy, frozen, their surfaces covered in frost and rock. They circle the sun slowly, their paths tilted, some eccentric, some distant. This is a realm of mystery. We have only just begun to glimpse it. For most of human history, it was unseen, its bodies too faint for our eyes. Only in the last century did we begin to discover them. A reminder that even now the solar system holds surprises. Among these icy worlds, one shines brighter than the rest. It is Pluto, the most famous resident of the Kuiper Belt. Discovered in 1930, Pluto was hailed as the ninth planet, a tiny, distant member of the solar system. For decades, it was taught to children, a small world at the edge, lonely and mysterious. But Pluto is unlike the others. Its orbit is tilted, sometimes bringing it closer to the sun than Neptune. Its surface is varied, mountains of ice, plains of frozen nitrogen, and even signs of glaciers that still creep slowly across its face. In 2015, the spacecraft New Horizons flew past Pluto for the first time. It revealed a world of breathtaking beauty. One region, shaped like a heart, became its symbol. A plain of frozen nitrogen stretching across the surface, shining in soft light. Pluto has mountains of water ice, hard as stone in the cold. Some peaks rise taller than the Rockies. There are valleys, plains, and perhaps beneath the surface an ocean of liquid water kept warm by radioactive heat. Pluto is small, smaller than Earth's moon, yet it has 5 moons of its own. The largest, Charon, is so big compared to Pluto that the two form a binary system, orbiting a point in space between them. The smaller moons, Styx, Nix, Kerberos, Hydra, circle farther out, tiny sparks of ice in the dark. Pluto is no longer called a planet. In 2006, astronomers reclassified it as a dwarf planet, a member of the Kuiper Belt family. Some felt sadness at this change, as though Pluto had been diminished. But Pluto has not lost its wonder. It remains beloved, a symbol of curiosity, a reminder of discovery. Pluto is not alone. The Kuiper Belt is home to other dwarf planets, each with its own story. There is Eris, slightly larger than Pluto, discovered in 2005. Its discovery was one reason astronomers redefined what a planet is. Eris circles the sun far beyond Pluto, a frozen world in the distant dark. There is Haumea, shaped like an egg, spinning so fast that it has been stretched by its rotation. Its surface glitters with crystalline ice, and it is accompanied by two small moons. There is Makemake, reddish in color, named for a creator god of Easter Island. It is smaller than Pluto, but no less intriguing, a lonely traveler in the Kuiper Belt. Beyond these are countless smaller objects, a family of frozen worlds stretching outward into the cold. Together they form a realm that is only beginning to be explored. Far beyond Pluto and the Kuiper Belt, the solar system does not end suddenly. Instead, it fades. It stretches outward, thinning like a breath of smoke in the air. Here, astronomers believe, lies the Oort Cloud. It is not yet seen directly, but its presence is felt. The long-period comets, those icy wanderers that sweep into the inner system after thousands, sometimes millions of years, are thought to come from here. The Oort Cloud is a vast sphere of icy fragments, stretching perhaps a light year from the sun. It is like a bubble, a shell of frozen bodies that marks the sun's distant influence. Imagine it, trillions of icy worlds, each as small as a mountain, floating in darkness. They are so far apart that each one is alone, yet together they form a silent halo, the solar system's outer veil. At this distance, the sun is no longer a blazing star. It is a pale spark, a bright point in a black sky, no stronger than the other stars. Its warmth is almost gone, its light weak and cold. Here, gravity still binds, but only faintly. A passing star, a drifting cloud of gas, or the tug of the Milky Way itself can disturb an Oort cloud body, sending it inward, a comet falling toward the sun. These comets are messengers. They carry with them the most ancient ice, unchanged since the dawn of the solar system. When they fall inward, their frozen surfaces awaken, streaming gas and dust, forming the glowing tails we see in our skies. The Oort cloud reminds us that the solar system has no sharp edge. It simply dissolves into the galaxy, its reach blending into the vast sea of stars. The boundary is not a line, but a fading, a merging with the infinite. Now we have traveled from the sun's fiery heart to the cold edges of the Oort cloud. We have drifted past Mercury's burning rocks, Venus's shrouded clouds, Earth's living seas, and Mars's red deserts. We have soared through Jupiter's storms, Saturn's rings, Uranus's tilted world, and Neptune's sapphire winds. We have met Pluto, the beloved dwarf planet, and its companions in the Kuiper Belt. We have whispered of the unseen Oort cloud, the distant cradle of comets. We have reached the edge where the sun is only a spark among stars. And here at last, we pause. The solar system is vast, yet it is only one tiny part of the galaxy, and the galaxy itself is only one among billions. Yet in this immensity, we find comfort. For even the farthest worlds, icy and silent, are bound to the same star that warms us. We are part of this family. We belong to this dance. As you rest tonight, imagine yourself floating at the edge. Behind you glows the solar system, a faint disk of light. Ahead lies the Milky Way, a river of stars without end. And you are there, peaceful, weightless, cradled between worlds. Breathe slowly. Let the immensity calm you. Let the silence soothe you. You are safe. You are part of something vast and beautiful. The sun shines on, the planets turn, the comets wander, and all is well. Close your eyes. Drift among the stars. And let the story of the solar system carry you into dreams.